Welcome back. All right, so news of the day video for all you fine people for your Tuesday, January the 23rd. So first off, there was some history made last night in the Arizona-Pittsburgh game. So if you didn't watch, or you didn't watch the review, or you didn't hear, so there was an own goal by Pittsburgh during a delayed penalty. So it's technically a power play goal for Arizona. And I know when I did the review, I was like, I don't think I've ever seen this. NHL stats confirmed it's never happened before that a team has recorded a power play goal without a shot. And so Arizona did that. They should be proud of that. I don't know if it's banner worthy. You might want to ask Nashville. But yeah, I think that's kind of a fun little stat that you can just lock away in your brain and just have that there, because that's definitely a trivia answer at some point. I don't think we'll ever see that again. But yeah, just that look on Letang's face. I think he knew this is going to be famous. This is going to be everywhere. I can't believe that just happened. And at any rate, yeah, so Arizona's in the record books. New Jersey. So they heard the fans. They heard you, and they decided to give Tom Fitzgerald an extension. I will admit I got a little bit of a chuckle because I've noticed a lot of comments on the channel lately about how Tom Fitzgerald needs to go. The team's failings this year are on the general manager. He hasn't solved the goaltending problems, and so they gave him a multi-year extension today. So there we go. And you guys can let me know your thoughts. I have a feeling I know what some in the New Jersey fan base are going to feel, but think about it from a perspective of his bosses. When Tom Fitzgerald takes over, this team's kind of just not very good. Last year they had a very, very good run. So you look at that and think, well, I mean, they're still a good team. They're right around the playoff line, and you give them an extension. So I understand there'll be some fans who aren't all that happy about it, but I think it's fine. We'll see. Winnipeg. So the Dastardly Bruins ended that 3-goal or less that they were allowing streak of theirs. Streak of allowing 3 goals or less. That sounds better. But at any rate, it ends at 34 games, second longest in NHL history. So kudos to them for that. I don't think I'm going to be doing a video about that 34 game streak. It might be a little bit long winded if I went with that, but hey, kudos to them for making it that far. And as was stated after the game last night, hey, it's still 3 goals or less if you don't count the empty net goals, and fair. I've always thought it was weird how it's a 1-goal game, and if there's an empty netter added, it's no longer considered a 1-goal game. I do consider those to be 1-goal games because if they didn't pull the goalie, it probably would have stayed 2-1 or 3-2. But anyways, whole other argument for a whole other time. The top 2 teams in the standings. This is one of the weirdest times for me as a hockey fan, where Vancouver's number 1 and Boston's number 2. And now I've started seeing talk online about, hey, wouldn't it be fun if they played again in the final? No. I am a fan of both. I don't know that my heart could take it. I don't know that I would be ready for it. 2011 is still pretty recent in terms of how I felt throughout that. So I'm going to say no. I know that there's a lot of people who would love to see that rematch, but no. That's my personal opinion. And yet I would do the little dance. I'd be so happy if they met in the Stanley Cup final. And then I would think by at least the end, maybe as early as the second period of game 1, I could see myself thinking, my God, what have we done? But at any rate, it is a lot of fun to see them at the top of the standings. I'm doing the same as I did last year with Boston's run. I'm just enjoying it. Enjoy it while it lasts. You never know what's going to happen. You never know how far a team's going to go. Maybe one of them wins the Stanley Cup. Maybe they don't. So I just enjoy it for what it is. I'm not one to look way ahead and, oh, we're going to win the cup and all that. I enjoy each game as it comes and goes. And Luke Richardson after the game last night saying that the Canucks showed why they're the best team in the league. So, and that's what Arizona said after that game they played against the Canucks too, that was the toughest team they've played in a while. So it's nice to see that praise. It's kind of odd to see that praise, but hey, it's an odd I can absolutely get used to. And so, yeah, we'll see how long they remain as 1 and 2 in the league. But again, I'm just enjoying it for right now for what it is. So, Spencer Martin, picked up by the Carolina Hurricanes on waivers from Columbus, is going to play one of the back-to-backs. Carolina plays both tomorrow and Thursday. Rod Brindamore kind of hinting maybe it'll be the game against Boston tomorrow. They play against the Devils on Thursday. So Spencer Martin's going to get one of those 2 starts. If he plays against Boston, he's played well against Boston in the appearance. I want to say it was one game he played against Boston this year in the games for Columbus, and I'm pretty sure he was the one that beat Boston this year too. But anyways, I'm old. My memory's kind of a little bit fading at times, but I'm pretty sure Martin's put up decent numbers against Boston this year when he's played against them. So might be the right call. Might be a good call for Rod Brind'Amour. Tanner Pearson returns tonight for the Habs against Ottawa. So that'll be nice to see him back in the lineup. He's an unrestricted free agent this summer, so I would think that he probably ends up on the move at the deadline. We shall see. And Arbor Jackeye called up, so we'll see Jackeye in their lineup sooner rather than later. In all likelihood, probably tonight. He's done quite well in the AHL, and I like Jackeye a lot. Chernak at practice for the Tampa Bay Lightning, so he's been out for a bit. He's considered day-to-day. So practicing with your teammates, I mean, it's usually less than a week. So day-to-day works, but it doesn't sound like he's likely to play in their next game. That being said, it's Tampa Bay. You just never know. Detroit, who's had their own walking wounded, as almost every team has. Kane, Sherratt, and Husso. Basically, Derek Lalonde hinting that any of them could return, or all of them could return before the All-Star break. The decision would be made of whether or not you want to bring them back before the All-Star break or just let them have that rest through the All-Star break. One thing with Detroit, they're playing really well right now. There isn't pressure on these guys to come back. It's kind of a fantastic part of that is that there is not that pressure for them to come back when they're playing well. So for Detroit and for their fans, I would imagine that's kind of weird that you've got those guys out and there isn't necessarily a rush to get them back because the team's playing pretty well. Varlamov, who's been out for a while for the New York Islanders, so Sorokin's been the goalie. Varlamov is expected to start against the Montreal Canadiens on Thursday. Varlamov also said he got chills when he heard that Patrick Roy was going to be the coach with the New York Islanders. So the excitement's there. They've won their first game. They have their second game tonight and all of that. And then they play against the Habs on Thursday. That should be a fun one. I like Varlamov. He was having a really good season as well at the time of the injury. We'll see if he picks it up where he left off. Casey Mittelstadt. So we're up to that silly season where all the rumors are out there. And apparently Casey Mittelstadt's name has been in the rumor mill about maybe getting moved out of Buffalo. He's a restricted free agent this summer. He's going to get a raise. He's playing very well. He's arguably been their best forward. And they've also got extensions kicking in, and so there's going to be cap issues and whatnot for Buffalo, I guess. There shouldn't be. But the idea of trading Mittelstadt, I guess, has been floated out there. Mittelstadt making it clear to the media that he has no intention of going anywhere. He bleeds Buffalo colors. You should get the doctor to check that out if you're bleeding blue or yellow. But, yeah, he has not had extension talks with the team either. So he wants to stay. Apparently he's made that clear to Kevin Adams that he wants to stay with the team. He doesn't have any interest in going anywhere else. But the question becomes, is that feeling mutual? Do the Buffalo Sabres maybe see an opportunity here with Mittelstadt? If they don't think that this season is indicative of how he's going to play going forward, they think he's having a career year, maybe you look to make a move. Maybe with all the young forwards they have, they view Mittelstadt as being redundant, or maybe it's just somebody making crap up. It is that time of year. It is absolutely that time of year where these rumors get out there, and once they're out there, it is hard to tamp them down. I don't report on them on the channel unless, in this case, it ends up in like a mainstream media source, and I basically leave it alone outside of that because the speculation gets kind of silly. If it's an important player, it's probably going to take you a roster player, a prospect, and a first rounder. If it's a really good player, it might be multiple prospects with that first rounder or roster player. But that generally seems to be the going price these days. So we'll see what happens. I hope Mittelstadt stays in Buffalo. If he really truly wants to be there, then keep him. Buffalo is a city that at times has had trouble attracting players to their NHL team. So if you have a player who's playing really well and he wants to stick around, I think you hold on to them. But that's my opinion. You'll notice that my hat has a dragon on it. It is the year of the dragon coming up, so I figured I'd wear that for this video because I just got that from the Canucks store, Van Base. So you can order them online and they deliver, so as proved here. But anyways, there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe in the event that you've not done so already, and I forgive you if you haven't done so already, but please do. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.